We open on a dead fish afloat in a sea of black. Is it oil? Potentially some sort of a thick blood from a demon? The scene fades as we ponder over the visuals. We fade up to a small boy chiseling a symbol into stone. We don't see what he's creating. An elderly man, presumably his father, walks over. The man's weathered, beaten down like a ship caught in a 5-day storm. The boy doesn't outright acknowledge the elder, but his mannerisms suggest he's aware of his presence. They have a conversation without actually making eye contact, and the scene fades away inevitably, as they always do. Throughout the picture, we're greeted to a solitary tree off in the distance. It's a wide-angled shot. It's framed up beautifully. We will slowly zoom in towards this beast as leaves continue to fall from the tree. Eventually, we come to a close with the old man, now naked, slowly walking into the lake to die. We fade up to the tree, or what's left of it, one last time as it sits there without a leaf left on its body. We're close up to the old man's face in the water as the darkness slowly creeps over and eventually covers him until there's nothing left. This transitions to the final shot of the picture, which is a close-up of the stone the boy was chiseling on earlier. We can't quite make out what that symbol is, though, as the film is intentionally blurry. If you ask me, though, I think it's a fish. That story you just heard, I made up on the fly. If it sounds like something you'd be interested in seeing on the big screen, I have bad news and good news for you. That film doesn't exist, but Mother does, and it's right up your alley. The artsy, allegorical bullshit that doesn't really work at all as a traditional, straightforward picture is perfect for engaging with fellow neckbeards at a coffee shop. I like Darren Aronofsky as a filmmaker. I think he's doing shit that nobody else even attempts to do, especially on a big scale like this with a Hollywood budget that's in no way going to make up that money back. And since he directed Requiem for a Dream, one of the most powerful films I've ever seen to date, he has a free pass as far as I'm concerned to do whatever goofy shit he wants. But Mother, exclamation mark, for some reason, just, I don't even know what it is. It's not even a coherent story. I think of movies like Donnie Darko that people have been studying for decades now because of its quirkiness and its puzzling ending. Donnie Darko has a good story. It's got fun characters, it's got weird-ass shit going on, it's got great music, it's lively, stuff is happening that still makes sense within the context of the script, of the story that you're watching. And not everything is allegorical nonsense. Not everything's a metaphor, not everything's symbolism. Sure, it's there. You can constantly interject your own bullshit into it and take away from it what you want, but you don't need to. Surface level, it still works. Mother doesn't work at all. And what really chaps my dick the most about a movie like Mother is if you say you don't like it, the haters or the defenders are going to instantly go, you just didn't understand it. It was too deep for you. Was it a biblical movie? Because of the Noah's Ark flood references and the Cain and Abel references? Was it a commentary on the environment and how Mother, or Mother Nature, if you will, is being destroyed by overpopulation? Perhaps it's a conversation about how man treats woman and how she's always second place, constantly pining for her chance in the spotlight, or just simply wanting to be with her lover. She just does everything for everybody else. She gives and gives until there's nothing left, until she has to pull her fucking heart out, slam it on the table, and he can take that too. And then what does he do after she's all dried up and useless? He gets rid of her, trades her in for a new model. This film is all of those things and none of those things. The quickest summary I can give it is it's a shitty version of The Giving Tree. My flagship show here is Movie Feuds, where I break down a film based on criteria of things I generally look for in a good movie. The cast, the story, the action and effects, the music. I don't even know how to break any of it down here. Jennifer Lawrence plays Mother, a confused young woman who runs from room to room hysterically, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. She's a perfect representation of the audience as well. She has no defining characteristics of her own, probably by choice, but that doesn't make her interesting and we can't really sympathize with her at all. She drinks a polyjuice potion on occasion, a vial of yellow shit. It's like an Alka-Seltzer. She throws that in and it helps ease her pain, her splitting migraines she's getting. She also has the ability to warg into the wall of the house. She can touch it and feel the heartbeat or whatever the hell's going on with that, because she's one with the house, I guess. At one point, she finds a deadish floating fetus Maybe it's a heart. Maybe it's a rat that ate a heart. I don't know. That represents whatever you want it to be. Life, death. Javier Bardem plays someone. I don't know if it's her husband or boyfriend. I think he's just known as him on IMDb. Nobody has names. Why would they? Why would they? Fill in the blanks, asshole. That's your job. He is a writer. He's a poet. He's a creator. Most importantly, he's a dick. Adam and Eve are also in this, played by Ed Harris and Michelle Pfeiffer. That's not actually their names. I think it's Thing 1 and Thing 2. They just kind of run about the house, causing wacky antics and hijinks, yelling at each other. Their siblings come over. There's a scuffle. And then things just keep getting more nonsensical after that. The house just piles up with people. A lot of noise, a lot of commotion. And that is a perfect metaphor for this film in general. It's just a lot of noise, a lot of commotion. You can figure it out. But that's also the genius of Darren Aronofsky. There's so many layers to this cake. So many layers. And you're just eating it all up. Bible references. Confusion. Mother Nature. Glug, 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 vial of bullshit. A house in the middle of nowhere with no driveway, yet people keep coming and going because it's crazy. Hey, you gonna finish that allegory? Glug, 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 glug. And if you were duped into thinking this was a scary movie or a horror flick or a thriller, no. It's none of that. No, it's none of that. That's just marketing. There's like 2 or 3 scenes where the wood has its period and she starts to pick at it and then it drips down into the basement. She goes down there, which is, of course, where she also keeps her linens. Because everybody keeps their freshly pressed linens in the fucking cellar of a house instead of up in one of the bedrooms. So she goes down there and gets it out of a chest. But as she's getting the linens out of the chest, she sees a door form from a bursted light bulb, which had blood on it from the floorboards above. I'm like, holy crap. What is she gonna open a door to some answers here? And she starts chiseling away at the cement, the stone, and then the door opens. She walks in, turns on a flashlight, I think. Oh, it's like a furnace room. Okay, well. But wait, holy shit, what was that? Oh, it's a toad. Oh, my fuck. How did a toad get in there and survive? You're asking the wrong questions. Was it even really a toad or a frog or an animal at all? Probably not. Probably just a social commentary on the trapping of animals in zoos. New script idea I just came up with on the fly. Check it. This is going to be a period piece featuring cave people who refuse to leave the comforts of their home to seek out food and refuge elsewhere. They live day after day in this cave, only going out to hunt once every 20 to 30 days. They get their food, they come back to the cave. They know nothing of the outside world. Everything they know they've learned from the writings on their own wall. Until the eldest teenage daughter, played of course by Emma Stone, refuses to listen to her father's commands any longer. She ventures out on her own, forcing the family to chase after. But what dangers will come? She's almost instantly attacked by a giant beast, and the family is forced to flee away from the home they've known all their life. They go off into the great unknown, down into the tropical jungles, and they realized everything they thought they knew was a lie. This movie is called The Croods. Oh, that's actually a thing. Huh. Oh, they're gonna make a sequel now. Oh, okay. Must have been a good idea. Mother is an inside joke that you are not part of for 2 hours. It's like the ending of Seven, where Brad Pitt's yelling, "What's in the box?" And they tell you after a minute. But this is a fucking box that they don't open ever. It's like, what's in the box? They open the box, there's 6 more boxes in there. And then Morgan Freeman looks up. You're gonna have to tell me. I mean, I put a lot of boxes in here. A lot of ideas at play. You can figure out what you want to do with them. Fight Club, A Clockwork Orange, Donnie Darko. Watch those movies if you want a little bit of a psychological thriller. It looks beautiful, of course. He always makes beautiful films. Although I don't like how it's framed up a lot of the time. It's very close to J-Law. It's like, we get it. We know she's an attractive woman. We saw the fappening. I don't need to be up in her grill the entire time. But a legitimate praise. The last 20 minutes, as bonkers and chaotic as they are amazingly shot. And how they filmed this is nothing short of amazing, so they should be commended for that. The entire team should be commended. I wish I could appreciate it more, but once again, I'm only half invested because I don't know what the fuck is happening. This is one of those movies that halfway through, you come to a realization that this could end at any fucking time and they won't tell you anything. It could just be a sharp, jarring cut and the least remarkable thing going on. Especially as it inched closer and closer to that 2-hour run mark. I'm just sitting here pissed. I'm like, God damn it. He's not gonna tell us anything. She's gonna like wash her hands and the movie's just gonna end. She's gonna be mid-sentence. She's gonna be like, honey, could we get these and then it's just done. To its credit, it doesn't just cut abruptly. There is a slow, nicer ending, I guess. But it doesn't matter because it doesn't fill in any blanks. It's just, this was it. This was everything. Now run with your imagination. We gave you all the seeds. We planted them, and now you get to decide which tree of ideas you want to grow. It's a sandbox for you to play in. And hell, I'd make some sandcastles in there if the story itself was at least interesting. But it's not. It's really dull. It's really boring for most of the flick. Until, like I said, that absurd third act. I'm not going to put a rating on this. There's no need to. I didn't like it. There's people that are going to love it. There are people that love it. It's a polarizing film. At one point, I was waiting for a fucking polar bear to walk through the house and just leave in the next scene. Because this is lost now. It's just a bunch of fucking ideas the writers threw out, and they were going to see which one to go with, and then one guy's like, they're all good. We could just use them all. And now I have a headache talking about this fucking disaster, and I could use some of that elixir myself. New film idea, Lollipop. It's through the eyes of an actual lollipop who falls in love with a young boy. It's going to be very sexual in nature as a boy eventually falls for her back. He slowly unwraps the plastic around her, pulls it down, presses his tongue up against her. She gets aroused and she describes it in great detail. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to cost about $200 million to make, but it'll be worth it. It's going to be artsy. Scarlett Johansson will play the lollipop. John C. Reilly will be the boy. Thanks for watching the video. Feel free to check me out on social media platforms for credibility purposes. Intern Sheila should be putting up some graphics for you to digest, I believe. Otherwise, you'll be out on the curb like your mom. Gotta move on. You can also check me out on patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. Throw me a buck or two if you want. I run this channel alone. It's almost a full-time job, honestly. Thanks for your time. Sheila, the graphics, now.